First on Fox Business, fresh from testifying, we're joined by one of the business leaders who was right there speaking to Congress, S&P Global CEO Doug Peterson. Doug, let me just tell you first, though, I'm here at the hedge fund conference of SALT, the Skybridge Asset Management, and they're all watching on monitors, and they're listening to what you're saying here. So tell us what you said about what animal spirits would be unleashed if we do get tax reform, and then I'll get your thought on whether we'll get tax reform.
Well, first of all, I was encouraged that they held these hearings today. It's great that the House has taken this up. But what I talked about was the need for permanent, comprehensive tax reform that lowers the rate, that fixes the territoriality system, and simplifies the entire system. And with reforms like this, we're going to see investment, we're going to see growth. The Business Roundtable had a study of their CEOs, which all said that they would have investment. Of 71% of the CEOs said that they would invest, and that tax reform was the #1 priority for investing in the United States.
I would love to believe that. I am a believer in that. However, if we go simply on experience, we know that when President Bush had a repatriation of profits that were kept overseas at a much lower rate, it was sort of that one-time holiday that President Trump has talked about, a lot of these companies brought the money back and they simply either paid it out in dividends or they bought their own shares back. They did not hire more people. In fact, they fired people in the case of Pfizer. So don't you think that that certain tax reform that is granted to big U.S. businesses, while wonderful, should come with caveats?
Well, this is one of the reasons that I use the word comprehensive. We also need to think about small businesses. Small businesses are customers, they are suppliers, and they will also benefit tremendously from lower rates as well as a more simplified system. As an example, in our case, our company files over 1,500 tax filings every year in the United States. It is complex. We spend almost $10 million a year just on filings, not including our own staff. And just think about what that means for a small business as well, the complexity of our tax code, the rates are high. So we look at this bill that's going to come out. It needs to be comprehensive, and it needs to address not just large businesses, but also small businesses.
Well, when SALT kicked off yesterday, Ben Bernanke, the former Federal Reserve Chair, specifically said on stage he sees multiple barriers to this getting passed simply because of the political climate. Do you see bipartisanship entering in any part of this tax reform plan, and if so, where, and can it get done this year?
It's likely to have to go through a very complex process. Clearly, there's different interests here that people want to be able to have their voices heard. We heard some of those today, but I was very encouraged that today all of the members of Congress that were at the hearing talked about the need for fixing the system. The rates are too high. Think about it from a competitive point of view. Countries around the world, like the United Kingdom, are going to a 17% rate versus ours at 35 or 39 if you consider state rates as well. So we heard today from both the Democrats and the Republicans that they understand the need for comprehensive, for simplicity, for lower rates, and that's something we need to start using to get something done.
Oh. We've got to get that done. We've got to run, but yes or no, by August?
By the end of the year.
The end of the year. All right. From your mouth to God's ears, we certainly hope in 2017. Doug Peterson, S&P Global CEO, first on Fox Business after testifying. Thank you very much. We've got the closing bell ringing.